Hello and welcome to my third podcast. This is the Christmas edition. You can see I've got my Christmas tree behind me. This is a washed up branch that we found on the beach, and for years actually I just had it as plain wood. It's a sort of natural pale colour wood, and then a few years ago I decided to paint it white, which is how you see it now. And yeah, this is just the tree that we have. It's somewhere between a real tree and an artificial tree, I guess. It suits us fine. I've got lots of lovely, delicate decorations on it. Most of them are either handmade or handcrafted. Some are homemade as well. Yeah, a bit of a mix on there. Lots of traditions. My mum often buys a set of 3 or 4 Christmas decorations, and she'll either keep one herself and give one to both my sisters and myself, or if it's a 3-pack, let's just give them all away, which is very sweet of her. So I like to have it all, bit of this, bit of that, rather than a big set of all the same. I've not got many duplicate decorations, and I've been making a few. I think this is one of my favourites this year. It is a simple pattern by Gosling and Plum, and it's free on her blog. So that's Laura over on Instagram, Gosling and Plum, and you can find her blog under the same name, and of course I'll put it below in the description. It's very simple. It's 2 Christmas trees, so 2 triangles, and then you just double crochet UK terms round, adding in the chains at the top, and then a simple trunk at the bottom. I've used Jameson and Smith 4-ply Shetland yarn for this. It gives it quite a rustic look. I think the bottom is actually Uradale or Uradale. Not quite sure how I pronounce that. I think it might be Uradale yarns, which is an organic, natural dark brown. It's got tiny flecks of white through it, which is lovely. And then I've just sewn on random buttons from my button collection. So very quick make. If you're looking for any last minute gifts, definitely recommend this one. Yeah, I've made 3. I think that's me out of green and dark green. I made a paler green one, which I gave away as part of a swap. And then I've made one for me, which is over there on my chest of drawer handle, and I'm going to give this one away as a gift. That is my plan. I may make more. I've got some green cotton. I might make more. I can't share it yet, but I've made a different tree. It's the same sort of idea, but I've made a different tree for my niece, and it has arms and legs, and it is so cute. I began a tradition last year of making her a Christmas decoration for her room. So last year I made her a gingerbread house, which was very sweet. Literally. It's quite large. Maybe, I've got big hands, but good, maybe 15 centimetres tall even. So her tree is bigger than this one as well, and it's got a string of lights. I don't want to give too much away in case my sister's watching this. I doubt my niece would take it all in. She is coming up for 5. So I doubt she's watching, but I don't want to give too much away for my sister, if she is. So that is a decoration I've made. I've also finished a present, and it's a scarf. And for those of you who know me, I don't often knit or crochet in black, but here we are. I've done a black glittery, whoa, that glitter is really showing off in the natural light and the artificial light there. It's a black glittery scarf, and this is a gift as well. It's a super pattern. You possibly recognise it from my last podcast. I've made one in 4-ply West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, in that sort of army grey colour. And this pattern is by Labours of Love Crochet, and you can find that in her pattern stores. And of course I'll pop it below as well. So this is worked up really fast. This one, the pattern calls for 4-ply, and I've done this one in double knitting, but kept it the same width. I could have altered it and made it a bit narrower to take into account the difference in yarn thickness, but I thought I'd make it nice and wide, and I just kept going until I'd used all my yarn. And I think think it's James C. Brett. It didn't have the label on, but I recognise it. I think it's James C. Brett yarn. And it's a 100% acrylic. So I'm looking forward to gifting that one. What else have I got to show? I've got quite a lot today. I've finished a few things, and I've got a few new projects. I've got my Christmas Eve project to show you. Also, I'm noticing I'm wearing my virus shawl scarf, which I finished years ago, but it's an absolute favourite of mine. I made it actually as a blanket. It's doubled over. I could do with, and I keep meaning to go back and do this, putting some tassels on the four corners just to help. It's a tiny bit, when I put it around like this, it's just that tiny bit too short, and it does tend to undo itself. But if I put a jacket on top, that tends to pin it in. Or it's fine if I'm in the house. It is so cosy. It's 4-ply yarn, and I think that really traps in the heat. And of course I've got it layered double. So what shall I share first? I've got this all piled up over here. I'll go with the wee crochet, the wee project bag. Inside my little granny love pouch, I have started a new pair of socks. It's a crochet pair. Here we are. And there. I almost finished the Gusset. It's a toe-up sock, and you may recognise it as my fabulous socks. This was the very first crochet pattern that very first sock crochet pattern I wrote. I've got the original right here. And these have been worn a lot. I wear these throughout the winter, and they are 3 or 4 years old and still going strong. There's hardly any bobbling or felting on them at all. They are going so strong. So this is Paintbox Yarns 4-ply sock wool, and I think Stripes Rainbow, I think was the colourway I designed it in. So I love this sock, and it is my most popular pattern on Ravelry as well, which is what prompted me to go back and work up another pair. It's possibly my 10th or 11th pair. I think when I was designing them, because it was my first sock pattern, I made a lot. I think I made them in all the sizes just to double check. It's available in 3 sizes, 3 adult sizes. And double check that they were all correct before sending it to pattern testers. And so this time round, I am adding in videos. So I've done the start at the toe video, and I've changed the pattern as well, because since writing further sock patterns, I now give an alternative for starting the toe. You can either chain 4 and work into the 4th chain from the hook, or you can start with a magic loop. So I've adjusted the pattern to include both of them. I've done a video for it, and then I've done a video for how to work. All this is an extended double crochet, so I've done a video for how to work that stitch, and then another quick video to show you how to start the heel, which is just work back and forward in rows. It's this wedge here, almost a triangle, I guess. It's very simple, that bit, back and forward in rows, and you're decreasing to give you that shape. And then the gusset is the slightly tricky part on this sock. It's not too bad, obviously. Loads and loads of people have followed this pattern and not had an issue, so it's not impossible, but I thought that by adding in the videos it would just help people, especially if someone's new to socks, and it'd make it absolutely clear what you're doing there. So I've added in those videos. The next video I need to do is to show how to decrease the extended double crochets together. I will do that one, and then I'll do a further one just to show how to finish up the cuff, because that is picked up. It's not knitted as a long rectangle, it's picked up along the edge as you're going. So I'll do one last video for that. So 2 more videos to go as I'm working on them, and then I'll get that added into the pattern. And if you've bought the pattern on Ravelry, you will be notified with the new PDF. If you've bought the pattern on Lovecrafts, because it's on Lovecrafts 2, I don't think they have a facility in place for updates. So if you have bought it there, give me a shout and I can send you an email with the updated PDF. I didn't think too cleverly though, because I've started it in just an oddment of yarn, and I'm not going to have enough. I'm using two. I weighed it and I thought, yeah, that's plenty, but it's not really, because the toe is pretty skimpy and so is the cuff, and the majority of it would need to be in this yarn, which I don't have enough of. However, I had the same amount of each of these yarns, so I think the second one I'm going to do a white, it's almost white, white with speckles toe and a white cuff, and I'll do the main colour in this one, so it'll be quite funky. The yarn is from the Wool Shed. My husband bought me a subscription, one of their subscription boxes back in April, and this one is called Tulips, I believe. It's got some darker pink, purple, neon, a neon yellow, and some tiny bits of orange through it. And that one came for my birthday this year, and it had a nice little bee stitch marker and a cup of tea, well, not a cup of tea, a tea bag, and a few other little bits and pieces. There was a wild seed mix as well for the bees. And this one is also from the Wool Shed, which is why I reckon they'd go nicely together. It's obviously exactly the same base, and this was the Frida Kahlo colourway in the summer at some point. And it's the leftovers I have. I knitted a pair of socks in it, and this is what I have left. So I'm enjoying working on that, popping the videos together. Yesterday I worked through and I got 3 videos done, and I've got them uploaded onto YouTube and slotted them in the pattern. So it's just a case of, sorry, I'm rescuing my tea before the dog jumps. She's up here. There. Don't want her slurping it. So just quick mouthful of tea. So that's that project. Now, while I had the mug, don't forget your Christmas mugs and whips. Hashtag over on Instagram. I've been a bit quiet on it, I have to say. So it's a case of taking a photograph of what you're currently working on with a Christmas mug. I haven't even shown this one yet. I picked it up in the charity shop, second-hand shop, just last week, and it's quite cute. I definitely need to show this one off, but the trouble is it's just been so dark. I've got lights on everywhere here today to make sure that you can see me and see what I'm showing. But the lighting has been terrible for photographs. They're just coming out really either flat or really shadowy. Obviously at this time of year in Scotland there is just a narrow window before and after lunch and lunchtime itself for taking photos, but it's just grey and miserable at the minute, and it's useless. Which is why I've been putting a few on my stories, because I don't mind they disappear, but I don't want my grid full of grainy, badly taken photos. So thank you for sharing yours. I've enjoyed seeing them, and I'm popping them up on my stories because they brighten up my stories, and it's good to share what you've been up to with others as well. So Christmas mugs and whips, all one word. No dots or dashes or anything in there for that hashtag. And yeah, let's see if we can keep that going to the end of the year. I will, as soon as this weather picks up, I shall get some better photos. Next thing I'd like to show you is this hat design, which is my Fields of Wheat beanie. This one has been worked in Juniper Moon Farm alpaca, and I have also worked one using UK alpaca, and that one has been featured in the British Fibre Art magazine issue 23, which the digital copy of which just came out 2 weeks ago today, or 2 weeks ago this week. I keep thinking this is Friday. It's not Friday. I'm filming this on Wednesday the 22nd of December, so we're a few days short of Christmas. I'll hopefully get this up either today or tomorrow, depending on how quickly it shifts from my phone to my computer, and then to YouTube, see how that process goes. We have new dog side. We've got a new Wi-Fi router, and that does seem to have sped up that process, which is brilliant. So this is a design that I have had in the pipeline for a long time. I know that some of you may recognise it. I tried to keep it a secret the last little while because I worked up a new sample in the UK alpaca yarn, and I sent that one off up to Orkney, which is where it was photographed, and yeah, the photo shoot was up in Orkney. So this hat starts halfway up at the bottom of the stalk, and you're working in the round and creating these loops. If I can write in, you're creating these loops which are then posted through each other, and you're still continuing to work in the round up to the top, and then once you've done that, come back down and you work down the way, I guess, for the brim, adding in the stalks for the wheat as front post stitches. So it's probably one of the patterns I am most pleased about ever creating is this one. I really like it, and I use the same technique actually to create a Fields of Lavender cardigan, which is only available as a baby size. There are two baby sizes, 3 to 6 months and 6 to 12 months. I may increase that range now that I might revisit it and add in some, maybe a smaller size and a larger size. I'll have a look at that possibly in the new year. It would be good to add some more sizes to that. Some folks have asked for an adult size, but I think because you've got this bulky wheat bit, that's, you know, I would say 3 times, that makes it 3 times as thick, I would say, as just the plain bit. And obviously you'd have that round your middle, which I don't think would be very flattering. So I've turned down people asking me to create that in an adult size. I think on a baby or a toddler, that's cute, right? But I certainly don't want any extra around my middle, thank you very much. And I'm sure a lot of you would feel the same. So I'm going to keep that as a baby and toddler. Yes, let's revisit that this year. I'll probably find that my writing style has changed a little, and there's other things that I'd like to add into the pattern. Videos too, possibly. I haven't done videos for this one as yet, but I might add in videos for the hat and the cardigan. Obviously the pattern is exclusive to the magazine right now, and when I release it myself after the 4 months period is up, which will be end of April, I might add in the videos for it as well, because that would be good. It would help you with show you one last time, because I just love this pattern. And it's so soft. This is the Juniper Moon Farm alpaca, but the UK alpaca is equally, if not more soft. And I've done it in a natural colour as well. It's very similar to this one. In fact, I'm very thirsty. I had noodles in a Wagamama teriyaki sauce for lunch, and I think the saltiness has just made me very thirsty. So excuse me while I sip my tea. Right, next in my pile, I'm just going to go through them in the order that I flung it all together. I had timed it so that my youngest was taking the dog out, and the dog was going to be out for most of this, but he came back pretty quickly with her. So let's hope that there's no deliveries, because she'll go off her trolley and there is a delivery due, so hopefully I can get through this before then. So next up, another 4-ply. It's very similar to the colours in this actually. This lovely teal colour. I just wanted to say, I've mentioned these before, to remind you that this is the pattern of the month for December, so you have until the 31st of December to take advantage of 20% off this pattern using the code DEC21. So DEC, short for December, all capitals, 21, all one word, and you can get 20% off the pattern on Ravelry. It's a mitts pattern, and it's available in now I'm racking my brain, 4 or 5 sizes. This one's the teeny tiny one up to this bigger one here, and yeah, then 4-ply worked in the round. It's an intermediate level pattern using 4-ply and a 4mm crochet hook. So 9 days left to take advantage of that if you want to. Here is the next one in my pile, which I am almost as excited as the Fields of Wheat hat. I have finished. You'll not believe this, but I have finished my scrappy blanket. All done, including, I haven't given it a good check over actually, including the ends, which I finished sewing in this morning. I kind of did the ends as I went along. Maybe when I'd done about that much, I would go back and sew the ends in. You could of course work this, it's all in scraps, but you could work it with a magic ball, or you could work it all in one colour and then not have the ends to deal with. But woohoo, it's finished. And yesterday I spent a bit of time on the pattern, added in a video showing you exactly how to work the puff stitches, and I put that up on YouTube already actually. You can probably find it once you've finished watching this. It was kind of a chicken or the egg thing, just because I'd like it to be out either at the end of the year or as a 1st of January Happy New Year gift to you, because it's going to be a free pattern. So I just popped it up. I'd done it and I popped it up. It's a free pattern, so it doesn't matter if anyone goes on and sees it. It's essentially a how to do the puffs video, but it also shows you the rest of the pattern. You could easily, if you have a couple of years of crochet experience, you could easily work out the pattern from there, but I'm happy with that because, like I say, I'm going to make it a free pattern. It'll be on my blog, I'm going to put it on Instagram and Ravelry, oh, big lorry, as an instant download as well. So you can catch it in all those places, and I'm going to keep it free. It's not going to be one that'll be free for a wee while and then I'll make it paid for. I'm just going to keep it free like my other scrappy pattern. So there is another, I have a first, this is called Scrappy Blanket 2, and I've got a first one out which is only available on my blog. I didn't pop it up on anywhere else, so it's only on the blog and it's free, and the blog is ad free. You can find my blog at martamitchelldesigns.blogspot.com. I have to think carefully about that because it's different from my Instagram. So it's the same as my Instagram but without the dots. So if you're looking for me on Instagram, marta.mitchell.designs, you can find me there. And I'm on Pinterest as well, just my name, Marta Mitchell Designs. Pop any of them into searches on the platforms and you will find me, if you haven't already. So this pattern has been in the making for quite a while. I think it was around April time that I started it. And I've got my, oh sorry, didn't mean to whack tripod. This is the basket I keep my scraps of 4-ply in, and it was quite mounded. It's used a lot of yarn. These two just went in the other day. A friend gave me these two full 100-gram skeins the other day. So they've gone in, but if you were to take those out, my 4-ply, that's a better angle, my 4-ply odds and ends have gone right down, which is what I wanted. I'll probably knit and crochet a few more pairs of socks and then start a third one, find a pattern for a third one. I'll maybe give it till the summer, something like that. And I'll start the whole thing again because I just love working with these scraps and the colours and remembering the project that I originally was working on. Although some of them have been given to me, but a lot of the time I'll kind of go, oh yeah, I remember those socks, I made them for whoever, you know. So I really, really like that, but I'm going to hold it up this way and come back a bit. Yeah, definitely something to treasure, this one. I'm going to keep it for myself. So the next steps before I release it, I need to get pictures of it. And like I say, the lighting is dire right now, so you're just going to have to hang on for that. Final thing I need to do, pattern is written up. I've done the videos, I've had it tested as well, and I'm happy with it. Yeah, look out for that. if you want to look out for it and be sure that you're first to know, sign up to my mailing list, and I'll put a sign up link below as well. I mail out to my list probably once a week, sometimes twice a week. If I've got a release, I'll maybe add in an extra couple, but once a week, usually with crochet tips and advice, pattern updates, behind the scenes things, and discount codes, and free patterns. I put at least 4 free patterns up there that are exclusive, that you can't find anywhere else, and they're just for my subscribers because I want to treasure you if you're on my list. There's been a few patterns that I posted this year. When I say they're unique to my list, I've kept them unique to my list and exclusive. I haven't put them anywhere else, but I will be, into the new year, I'll be releasing a few of those exclusive ones from last year, including the words, the sunshine, it's because there isn't any, the sunshine patch that I did at the start of the summer. That was a popular one, and the mini bunting as well. I'll be adding them to my pattern store, so you will be notified of that as well if you sign up. Let's pop that there. I think I just have one more project bag, and then that is me for now. What's it say? Just one more row. This is a new bag that I got as part of the Christmas swap. So the person that I sent the tree, the paler green tree to, gave me this and some cross stitch things that were really lovely. And the yarn in here has been gifted to me by my lovely friend Liz from church. She gave me, there's another little bit, the yarn had a knot in it. So it's a 100-gram ball, a 20 and 2 10s. And these are all from For the Love of Yarn, which I believe is a Glasgow-based hand-dyed yarn business. And they do ergonomic crochet hooks as well as yarn. And it says, I'll read it all. Beautiful hand-dyed yarns, ergonomic crochet hooks, accessories, and all kinds of loveliness for people who live for their love of yarn. So this one, the set is all 100-gram Merino Crazy 8 Superwash DK, 225 meters. And yeah, they did come all tucked in here, but I've wound the first one. Yeah, did find a knot, but never mind. And I'm going to start on Christmas Eve. It's going to be my Christmas Eve cast on, so I've got the nice red shiny Christmassy bag. I'm going to keep it in that, and this will be my Christmas Eve cast on, and I'm going to crochet a pair of fiddle socks. I haven't brought fiddle socks with me, but if you've been following me on Instagram, or maybe shared them in the first podcast, can't remember. My fiddle socks are my latest sock design, which has not been released yet. It will be once I get the photos done. That's another one that's waiting for photos. I think I've mentioned needing photos a few times in this podcast. My eldest son Neil, who does a lot of my photography for me, he is going to be home over Christmas, and I shall pin him down and make sure that we get things photographed, because there's the blanket, those socks, my air balloon beanie is good to go as well. I think I have one more thing. Yes, I have a cushion. This cushion, which is just tucked here. I wasn't actually going to show it, but I've just thrown it off the chair I'm sitting in. So this cushion is tested and ready to go as well. I haven't even shared final photos of it because I'm not quite sure how. There's not really anywhere in my house that it sits well, is my problem. So I'm thinking of doing a photo shoot, maybe holding it, it's so snuggly, or squeezing it, something like that, against a plain background. That's my thoughts. I shall speak to my photographer, see what he thinks. And so that pattern's coming too. I've got loads of patterns in the pipeline for the new year. I've got another sock pattern that I've swatched that is pretty much all written up. Certainly in my head it's all written up. It's going to be another cuffed down one in 4-ply yarn from John Arbon Textiles, and that it's lovely yarn. It's really, really lovely. I can't even remember the exact composition of it, so you'll just have to wait. We'll wait for January and I'll share more of that. I'll probably crochet. I'm going to crochet. I don't think I've got any knitting to show you today. So it is mostly a crochet podcast, but there will be a little bit of knitting. Because I finished a pair of socks and I've sent them down to my sister. The ones with the Zauberball, that's the word. Knew that wasn't quite right. So I finished those and I've sent them off to my sister, so I don't have them to share. This one I do have one last thing to share, and that is the hook I'm going to be using for this new pair of socks. Look at that. Isn't it fab? This is a polymer clay crochet hook which has been handmade by Pedro's Plaques. Karen at Pedro's Plaques has made this one, and I got it in the 4mm size, which will be just right for this double knitting for the socks. It's the size that I'd probably go for that. And yeah, perfect. Christmas Eve, I'm going to start these socks, and I've got my gingerbread man hook, so I can't wait for that. I'll put a link to Karen's website as well below in the notes if you want to get your hands on those. They are lovely. I got some stitch markers as well, which were actually, I've thrown it. Here we go. The stitch markers were actually in the sock, this one, because they're not necessarily Christmas ones, but they are handmade little clay ones. That one and that one with little flowers on. So Karen's got loads of lovely designs. She always has them themed throughout the year. You know, there were summer ones. If you remember my competition way back in the summer there, she made me a sunshine one as a prize for that. So yeah, great imagination, lovely hooks. And you would think it might be too heavy, or you know, it doesn't quite sit right, or it might just be something you'd use to photograph, but actually no, I can hold it nicely. It's not too heavy, so I think it is still practical, and it's definitely going to bring a smile to my face as I crochet these socks. So this is my last podcast for the year. It's my third one. I fitted 3 in, which I'm quite chuffed with, and I'll be back next year with more. That'll be me for the end of the year now, I think. And every 2 weeks does seem to be about right for me in terms of the amount of things that I've been working on, and having enough to show you that it's not just same old, saw that the last time. So it's kind of a case of getting the balance between the two. Things for me to talk about and new things for you to see and updates. So yeah, I want to thank you for watching any of my episodes, for subscribing, for watching my other videos. If you follow me on Instagram or Pinterest, for all your likes and shares and comments and engagement over there. That's been fab. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you again in 2022. Bye for now.